Today I want to talk to you about everything I'm reading next. I know these books seem very large, but I promise you I'm going to be able to fly through them because these are all written by some of my favorite authors, and when I'm experiencing that, when I have someone that I really love reading, it doesn't really feel like it's 500, 600 pages. It feels like much more like 200, 300. And the reason I'm doing this is because I hopefully want to inspire your next read. Hopefully want you to pick up one of these books because I'm going to find them interesting, so you might find something interesting as well. So the thing I'm reading right now is Island by Aldous Huxley. This is a very, very interesting book. It's really more philosophy than it is a story, and I like books that kind of subvert expectations, that kind of go between two different genres, and so far it's pretty interesting. I'm about halfway through, and it has some interesting commentaries on society, how we set it up, typical Aldous Huxley style, where he kind of throws a wrench in our ideas and our conceptions about politics and organizations, and are these really good for us or are these really bad for us? The next thing is a book that I was reading much earlier, but I never really finished. It wasn't interesting to me at the time, but for whatever reason, the past week or so, I've been very interested in Jungian archetypes. So this is going to be something that I really dive into and I really finish, and I'm excited to see exactly what Jung synthesizes archetypes to be, because I have an understanding from the other books I've read, but this one is specifically dedicated to archetypes solely. So I'm just interested to see where this goes. The next thing I'm going to read after that is The Will to Power. This is a book that I was telling you guys I was going to read earlier, but it's kind of got pushed to the background. I finished reading, whatever I finished reading before this, I was like, no, I don't want to read more philosophy, I want to read a story. So that's why I haven't read The Will to Power yet, but I'm excited to read this because I just love Nietzsche. I love his writing, and this is a much less strict version of Nietzsche. This is his journal entries basically, and I think it's going to give a different style, a different taste of who he really was as a person and what he really believed, and I just think it's going to be a cool thing to pick up. The next thing is Plato, the Republic. I really love Plato from what I've read from Plato. I haven't really read anything that's full length like this, and this is the story that has the cave allegory in it. This is the dialogue that has some interesting ideas when it comes to democracy that really inspired the founding fathers writing the Federalist Papers. So, I think it'll just be a cool thing to read. And the last thing that I'm going to read, actually I have two more. The Illuminatus trilogy by Robert Anton Wilson. I've read a lot of Robert Anton Wilson's philosophy and I really love it. And he's someone that's very unique. He's someone that gets you questioning everything that there is about this world, every single thing that exists. And is it really there? Is it really real? Is it important? What do we value about the world? What do we value about others? And I haven't read any of his stories yet, but that's what he's most famous for. So I'm really excited to pick up his stories and see how he can kind of get this across through his narrative abilities, through his narrative skills. And the last thing I'm going to read is something that I've had for a while, the Bhagavad Gita. I said I was going to read this ages ago. I picked it up. I just didn't get into it. But I think just at the time there's probably something going on. There was probably something that was distracting me. And for whatever reason, I wasn't receptive to that message at the time. But I think I'll be open and willing to read this now. And I think I'm going to give it a second chance, a chance that I actually devote myself to it, because I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like sometimes I pick up a book and I'm like, I could tell I'm gonna like this, but I don't want to read it right now. And if you feel that it's okay to put a book down, it's okay to come back to it later, but always try to come back to it later. And this is a book that I've been saying I'm just gonna read for like probably a year now, so finally gonna read it. With that said, hopefully these books inspire you to pick up something. If it's not any of these books, hopefully it's a book in general. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.